And this show is brought to you by the Beaches of South Walton. Find out more about this travel destination at www.beachesofsouthwalton.com.
Hi, we're here with Jim Law of Linden Vineyards in Virginia. Hi, Jim.
Howdy, guys. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, well, we first planted in 1985, and I've been pretty much planting an acre or half an acre every year. This block is pretty interesting because I first planted this block in 1990, and I planted it to Chardonnay. Long story short, after 15 years, I didn't like it. I didn't like what it was doing, so I pulled it all out and replanted it. And that's what you have to do. You can't say that, well, you know, I think it's a good idea to do this, and then when you plant a vineyard, you're not planting it for 3 or 4 years down the road. You're planting it forever. I mean, to me, the vineyard doesn't start producing interesting wines until it's at least 10 years old. That's when you can really start making some evaluations. So I said this isn't working. Plus, I've learned now that the soils this is on are much more conducive to making great reds. This is just 1 acre of grapes, and we have 3 different soil types. And what we commonly do is harvest by soil types and vinify by soil types, and it's amazing the differences. There's much more difference between soil type than there is clone, rootstock, or in some cases even variety. Sometimes, like Cabernet Franc on 2 different soil types will taste more similar to Cabernet Sauvignon on the same soils rather than the varietal distinction. What we've got here is Merlot. We just planted it yesterday, and we have 3 different soil types here. This is a it's decomposed rock, and it you see how it doesn't ribbon. Ribbon is when I press it really hard. If it has a lot of clay, I can do this and it won't fall. See how it's falling away from my fingers? Clay wouldn't do that. It would ribbon. It would make a long ribbon. So
it would stay clumped together? So
exactly,
okay.
Stay clumped together. This is loose, granular, and of course there's lots of rocks here. We like rocks. My guys, when we plant, we don't like rocks, but the vines like rocks. Rocks are a good thing. They provide better drainage, and quite frankly, they take up room so there's not soil. Because one of our biggest challenges is keeping the vine small and in balance. That's one of the keys of making great wine. This soil will do it because naturally this soil just doesn't have a lot of clay, which gives more vigor. It has less water holding capacity. So this is one of my best low vigor soils. This produces some great wine right here. It's our granite, and we can go down and take a look at this. It's just basically nothing but rock, and what's in between it is almost all organic matter. Really, it's hardly even soil. It's just, see, this was all woods. I didn't mention that this area was farmed for hundreds of years, or a couple hundred years, and then it was abandoned back in starting around the 40s, and the trees grew up, and so we had to take the trees down and let the ground stay fallow for a while before planting.
Okay, so that's what you're doing here. Is we just came from a clay, loamy area where you had some Merlot. We're down into now granite, organic matter soil with Merlot, and you're going to vinify these separately.
Yes. To tell you the truth, the first couple harvests I won't, because we don't crop the vines very heavy, and I don't have enough volume to do that. But in a couple years, I will be, and we pick a lot by soil. I go through with flagging tape and tell the guys when to stop, and we keep those separate. Gotcha. So this is the clay soil, and I mean, it's dense. This is not wet enough to try to ribbon to show you, so it just kind of crumples up. But it's a totally different soil. Unfortunately, it's very deep, which means those roots go deep, and then they can suck up lots of water and lots of nutrients and keep going all season long, which is not good. You want the vines to kind of shut down at veraison, which is when the grapes turn from a green color to dark color. And often on the clay soils they don't. Fortunately, Merlot does, because its cycle is shorter than something like Cabernet Sauvignon, which is why here I wanted to plant Cabernet Sauvignon here because of the steepness. You lose water that way through drainage, but I also unfortunately found that the soils were very deep, and that's not good for Cab, so that's why I went ahead and put Merlot here.